today's modern world, communication has never been easier. With a single word, a tap, or even a voice command, help can be summoned from almost anywhere. But in certain moments, that connection becomes more than convenience. It becomes the thin line between life and death. Across the world, no one understands this weight more than emergency dispatchers. Every ringing phone carries uncertainty. Some calls end with sirens arriving just in time. Others end in silence. Silence that lingers for years. These are not legends or reenactments. These are real emergency calls that took a terrifying turn, leaving scars not only on families, but on the operators who answered them. One of the most heartbreaking cases is that of Kyle Plush, a 16-year-old student from Cincinnati, Ohio. Kyle was a normal teenager, kind, intelligent, and full of dreams. On April 10, 2018, he arrived at his school parking lot in his 2004 Honda Odyssey minivan, preparing for a tennis match. He never made it to the court. Kyle needed his tennis equipment stored in the back of the van. As he climbed inside, the rear seat suddenly collapsed, trapping him upside down in the trunk. His chest was pinned under nearly 70 pounds of pressure. Unable to move or breathe properly, panic set in. But even in agony, Kyle had the presence of mind to seek help. Unable to use his hands, Kyle activated Siri and called 911 twice. The first call came at 3:16 p.m. His voice was faint, distorted, and difficult to understand. Through gasps for air, he managed to say, "I'm at 7 Hills. I'm going to die here." Police were dispatched and arrived at the parking lot within minutes, but they couldn't locate anyone in distress. At 3:35 p.m., Kyle made a second call. This time, he clearly identified his vehicle, a gold 2004 Honda Odyssey. In what would become his final recorded words, he said, "I probably don't have much time left. Tell my mom I love her if I die." Tragically, this critical information was never relayed to the officers already on scene. At 3:37 p.m., the incident was closed. Kyle remained trapped. 6 hours later, Kyle was found by his own father. He did not survive. His death shocked the nation. The city of Cincinnati later agreed to a $6 million settlement with his family. Kyle's story became a turning point in emergency response training, paid for with a young life. Another case that still haunts investigators is the disappearance of Susan Powell. In December 2009, Susan vanished without a trace. At first glance, it seemed like a missing person case, but beneath the surface, it was something far darker. Susan was meticulous. She documented her fears in journals and emails. One entry was chilling. "If I die, it may not be an accident, even if it looks like one." She specifically named her husband, Josh Powell. Josh was quiet, socially distant, and emotionally cold. He was controlling, while Susan carried the burden of work, parenting, and finances. Adding to the horror was Josh's father, Stephen Powell, who was obsessively fixated on Susan, filming her, spying on her, and writing disturbing songs about her. In the night of December 6th, Josh claimed he took their 2 young sons camping in the middle of winter. By morning, Susan was gone. Her belongings were untouched. Josh returned calm and emotional. His stories changed. His van tested positive for blood. Their eldest son, Charlie, told investigators, "Mommy went camping. Daddy took Mommy somewhere. Mommy didn't come back." Without a body, charges couldn't be filed. In 2012, during a supervised visitation, Josh locked himself inside a house with his sons. Minutes later, screams were heard. Josh attacked the children with a hatchet, then set the house on fire. All 3 died. Only after Josh's death did authorities publicly acknowledge what many already knew. Susan Powell had been murdered. Her body has never been found. The final case belongs to Loretta Pickard, a 76-year-old woman living alone in Florida. Recovering from hip surgery, Loretta relied on a walker. When her house caught fire on November 23, 2018, escape was impossible. She called 911 and stayed on the line for nearly 20 minutes. She was calm, clear, honest. She told the dispatcher she was trapped and could not get out. Firefighters arrived while Loretta was still alive, but no one entered the house for 8 agonizing minutes. During that time, Loretta asked softly, "They know I'm in here, right? They're coming for me, aren't they?" They were there, but they didn't go in. Smoke doesn't wait for protocol. Loretta's voice weakened. Her breathing slowed. Eventually, the line went silent. When firefighters finally entered the house, she was already dead. An investigation later revealed multiple communication failures. Even worse, a fire captain had recorded a Snapchat video of the burning house while Loretta was still inside. Public outrage followed. Policies changed. training was rewritten, but Loretta never got her rescue. Some calls don't end when the phone goes dead. They echo for operators, families,